So I had a couple of ideas that I was thinking about doing for today's video, but I got kind of a funny idea, and I figured that I would just throw a question out on Twitter. And I posted on Twitter that I was thinking about a couple of ideas, but I was looking for more of a topic suggestion from people, from viewers and people that I knew on Twitter, just to kind of see if anyone threw out a cool idea that was worthy of making a video. And sure enough, someone who I know quite well actually had a pretty good suggestion. So this comes from Terminator Juice, and if you know me, you probably know Terminator Juice. Hopefully you're familiar with the podcast that I do every Monday, which is The Juice is Loose. The last couple of months, I've included a link to the channel and to the podcast in the description of all my videos. If you haven't found it yet through the podcast excerpts or through the link, you definitely should. I'm pretty proud of that podcast. It's a great group of guys put together by Terminator Juice. He's been doing it for a super long time, and I just got on board as a regular guest, I don't know, a couple months ago. And so he is someone who actually responded and asked me a really good question, so I wanted to give him in the podcast a shout out. And then also respond to his question because it's a really, really good one. So he asks, is it fair to blame Nintendo for all the stupid rumors that are out there? And yes, Terminator Juice is definitely not a fan of the rumor mill when it comes to Nintendo and the NX. I've gone back and forth. Overall, I find it sometimes pretty frustrating. I enjoy talking about rumors when they make sense or when it's fun to theorize about them or if they seem fairly true. But in general, I think that the internet with this NX stuff has just gone out of control. Way out of control this last year, and especially the last 5 or 6 months. And of course, as we know, this past week, I made a video myself discussing the rumor about the handheld NX thing. And so what Terminator Juice is asking is because this has been like the most fervent, like rumor heavy period ever. I think not only just for Nintendo, but probably for gaming as well. People theorizing and rumors and leaks and NeoGAF forums and people who work in the industry have this information from this insider. It's been so crazy, I think, not just for Nintendo, but in gaming history. I feel like this has been the most rumor-heavy period ever surrounding the NX mystery. So he wants to know if I feel like this is maybe Nintendo's fault for the rumors getting out there, or if it's really just people in the internet's fault, or where I see it kind of stemming from. Really good question. There's a couple of answers I have. He added two quick tweets of his own thoughts that I felt was worthy for me to discuss. And he said, I like to remind people that we knew about the Wii U for a year and a half before it launched, and that didn't help at all. True. Very good point, my man. He says the biggest issue is that there aren't many new games coming to the Wii U, so there is nothing to distract people, hence why maybe rumors are coming about. So, like I said, it's a very good question, so thanks again, TJ Juice, for asking the question. And when it comes to all these crazy freaking rumors about Nintendo and about the NX, is it fair to blame Nintendo like some people maybe do? So I've got what is probably the easiest and obvious answer, and I'm going to say yes and no. It's fair to blame Nintendo, but in the same respect, the blame also lies with other people. Okay, first let's really quickly start with how it's fair to blame Nintendo and how I see Nintendo being at fault for a lot of what's been going on. And bear in mind, this whole video, just like most, this is just my opinion. I'm not telling you how to feel, so if you disagree with this, it's fine. Try not to get too mad or heated. I'm just kind of saying, hey, this is my view and my opinion. So in the category of how you can fairly say that this might be kind of Nintendo's fault a little bit here, it's probably because they've worked so hard to keep the NX in such mystery. And they probably told us about the thing too long. I said this on a video a long time ago on a different topic, surrounding the NX, is that at the end of the day, I think I know why Miyamoto and Nintendo ended up kind of, popping the seal on the NX just a little bit when they first kind of brought it up, whatever, a year and a half ago. But at the end of the day, they probably should not have done that, at least at that point. Because once that happened, everyone's viewpoint of the Wii U and Nintendo's current generation machine completely changed. And all of a sudden, people slowly but surely started to get tunnel vision on the future and tunnel vision on what's the next thing. The Wii U, I mean, if they're already working on the next thing, does it really matter what the Wii U has available and if it's a good system or not and what games are releasing? Probably not, is what most people probably thought. I, of course, love it and still to this day, but I think a lot of people started to get to the point where they said, hey, maybe we don't need to focus on this and whatever games are coming out in the Wii U. I don't care anymore because we know that they're working on the next thing. So doing that was probably a little bit of a mistake. Again, I know why they did that. I know why Miyamoto said that, to reassure people that they're working on the next thing. The Wii U isn't the end because it was a failure. And he said interesting things like, we're always working on the next thing. Even the day after a new console comes out, every company is always working on the next thing. And there's no doubt in my mind that that's true. But when it comes to the collective viewpoint of the internet and the gamer on the internet, people don't think about that shit, man. People don't acknowledge the truth of that statement, and they just think, oh, Wii U is dying, move to next thing, that's how I feel, the end. That's just how people will react, and there's no getting around that no matter how much logic you try to throw at them. So that definitely threw a wrench, I think, in the plans for the Wii U in the 8th generation, and it started to get people wondering, when's the next thing gonna happen? And Nintendo has then, since then, barely teased us with it, barely talked about it, probably not enough. And they've hinted at it at E3 last year and at a couple of Nintendo Directs. The occasional odd quote or something comes out like Reggie from E3, we're focusing on this, but we're not focusing on that. It's Kimishima says it's going to be this kind of machine, but it's not going to be that. It is a successor to the Wii U, but it's not. It's going to last for a long time, but it's also maybe a handheld hybrid thing. Like, all this shit just feeds the cycle in the rumor mill of what the hell is the NX, and Nintendo isn't giving us the answer. At this point, it's been so long since they first talked about the Wii U. Honestly, and I'm a patient guy. Man, am I patient, and I'm still willing to be patient, but honestly, Nintendo, you should have showed the goddamn thing already, or not brought it up till maybe 6 or 7 months ago. If you were to imagine a world where they first said the word NX out loud to the public 6 months ago, sure, we'd still be wondering where it is, but at the same time, it's like, well, they just announced that thing, we'll find out about it whenever. I feel like the window of time being so small, people would be more patient and not so outspoken and wondering what's going on and then making up all this crazy shit. But like I said, this was a year and a half, 2 years ago that it was first broached and talked about, and so now it's like, well, okay, it's been a while, and the Wii U is dying. That's the other thing I'm going to lead into in a minute. So we need to know where it is. And through that, you get people digging for rumors. You get people hunting for rumors. You get people asking industry insiders for rumors. You got people on the forums looking for rumors. And then because of that, you have people on forums making up rumors. I firmly believe so much of the stuff that we've seen has been literally made up because it's easy to get attention on a rumor about the NX. If you just say, oh, the NX is rumored to be a toaster and will also change your spare tire on your car if it's flat. It's like, what? Oh my God, let's look at that and talk about it and make YouTube videos about it, which, hey, I've been guilty of doing that. I'm not saying I'm not. But it's easy to get that attention. So through the fact that we've been waiting so long, people start making shit up. And sometimes people print 3D fake freaking controllers for the thing. And if you've listened to any of the podcasts in the past, you've heard me rant about how stupid I think that whole thing was. And that guy who did that, what a waste of time and a waste of talent. God, I just hated that so much. But that's the kind of shit you get when you talk about a system, but then you don't give it to us for so long. So because Nintendo is waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting to show the NX, and they know there is, mark my words, Nintendo knows how much we want to know about it. They know that every tweet and every Facebook post and every YouTube video and every article written about a rumor and a theory is happening. They know what's happening. They know that people are going so off the walls crazy to know what the stupid thing is that they're making up stuff and all these rumors and things. And for all we know, some of it's been true, which means that Nintendo didn't even get to get the message out themselves. Some stupid, dumb internet hacking troll happened to get it out, whether by accident or on purpose or whatever. And that is even worse. Like, let's say the rumor from this last week from Eurogamer's true. That means Nintendo didn't show it to us. Eurogamer fucking did from a stupid little drawing. And Nintendo, that's dumb. That's just not how it should be. That's not how it should go. So I think Nintendo talking about it too soon and then waiting so long to show it is definitely to blame for all of these rumors because people are so hungry to know what it is. They're either fishing for stuff or they're making stuff up. Also, the last point on this is the fact, like I hinted a second ago, the Wii U, Nintendo has been very purposefully phasing the Wii U out. There are no games. There's nothing to be excited for. We had a couple of games this year that admittedly were all pretty good. Twilight Princess HD, Star Fox Zero I liked. I didn't play Tokyo Mirage, but I do hear it's very good. I think Mario and Sonic is even supposed to be okay. Pokken Tournament. So, like, they've done a couple things, and we're going to get Paper Mario. We've gotten those handful of things, but that's not a full library. And the big thing that Nintendo is doing for the holiday, besides Pokemon Sun and Moon, is a mini NES. Like, it's not even anything for the Wii U. It's a mini NES from 30 years ago, which looks amazing, but it's not new content for the Wii U. So Nintendo's basically telling us, yeah, we don't really care about the Wii U anymore. And that's months and months to basically a year before the NX is supposed to come out, and we still don't know what the damn thing is? Yeah, people are like, okay, Nintendo, give me some of your freaking content. You're not going to give it to us. We're going to fish for it, or we're going to make it up. Okay, so on to how it's maybe not Nintendo's fault. I don't want to sit here and just rant and rag on Nintendo. I stand by everything I said, and it is very frustrating that Nintendo's waited so damn long to show us this thing. But I feel like it's definitely not just Nintendo's fault. Part of what's going on here is the fact that people can't just be patient. Yes, Nintendo has given us way too big of a gap from solid content on the Wii U up until the NX's reveal and launch. Yes, this is too big of a gap, but at the end of the day, people need to just calm down, step back, and not be so intent on trying to break the next scoop or make up the next rumor or find the next forum post that has some sort of secret info and secret code to decode and put on the internet and try to get a bunch of clicks and ad revenue and YouTube money and all these different things. People are way too overzealous with this stuff, man. And, you know, again, something else I talk about with a lot of my friends in real life, friends I know on the internet and YouTube, and everybody on the podcast, all those guys, is the fact that there's still stuff to play. Even if you're a Nintendo-only fan, which I think it's silly to be a Nintendo-only fan. There's great content across the board for gaming. That's why I love everything available. But let's say you're a Nintendo-only fan, which a lot of people are, and actually, even I used to be during the GameCube era. I was only a Nintendo fan, and I am so glad I outgrew that in those immature days, because I don't think that's the best way to be. But for anyone who has just a Wii U and or a 3DS, you know, there's still a lot of great content to play. And there's a lot of games that keep you coming back. Games like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart last like forever. They're endless. There's so much to do. Splatoon is another one. There's so much to do. Yes, they gave us the last Splatfest, so there's no new content from Nintendo, but those games last forever. Star Fox Zero just came out, Pokken Tournament, and Tokyo Mirage. What's the other? Oh, Twilight Princess. Like there even has been good games to play that have already come out this year. And I think that that's important to remember. The Wii U is a solid system. You can pick up a game like Xenoblade Chronicles X, which not enough people have purchased, and there's 70 freaking hours and weeks upon weeks upon weeks of gameplay for you right there. So there's stuff to pay attention to. Also, like I was alluding to a minute ago, if you're a healthier gamer, you're not just a Nintendo fan, which means there's a lot of content to play on your PC, your PlayStation 4, your Xbox One, all of which I have and enjoy, and I always have something to play. So if Nintendo needs to take this time, figure out their shit. Their president died last year. I mean, let's not forget that, by the way. They need to figure out some stuff. They're giving us Zelda. Jesus Christ, look at how good Zelda looks, whether it's the Wii U or NX version. And we know that the NX is coming in the first quarter of next year, which is now 7-ish months away. Like, maybe you can just give them some time and focus on what's available. Does it have to be a now, me, more, game, always? Can people not settle the fuck down and just give a company a period to maybe not have a whole lot to release? And they are giving us Paper Mario. Like, we're still getting that. Jesus Christ. And, I mean, the answer is no. Obviously, people can't do that. And so they lose their freaking minds and waste all of their free time and all of their hours not sleeping, huddled over their computer in the middle of the night, trying to find the next thing about the NX because they're just like, oh, God, I don't have anything to play. And, like, I don't want my words minced too much, because I do still think Nintendo should have been able to prepare to not run into this drought and have games and content leading into the NX's release and maybe not abandon the Wii U so early and all these things. Like, I ultimately do agree with that aspect, you guys, and I think that it's unfortunate Nintendo's gotten themselves into this position. But at the end of the day, it's not so bad. I mean, it's just they're a business, and hey, they had to change their business model really quickly. I mean, has Nintendo not earned the right and the favor of their gamers and fans to be like, oh, you need 7 or 8 months to figure some shit out? That's fine. Your games are awesome always, so I will happily give you 8 months. Oh, look, a bunch of shit to play on my PlayStation and Xbox. I'll be back in 8 months. It's I don't know. Everyone's going to probably rip me apart for this, because I don't think that logic clicks with many people, and if you want to do that, then you have at it. But that just makes so much sense to me. I don't understand being so upset with the company and then going so insane, like, instead of focusing on the games that are available to play, let's just find the NX, rumor. That just gets really exciting to people, and I don't know why. Now, again, I'll end with this here. I know that probably when you look at every rumor that's ever been released about the NX, which is probably in the range of 10 to 15, I'm sure that some of those rumors are true or based on truth, including maybe what Eurogamer just freaking did last week. So maybe there is something to the console handheld hybrid thing. Maybe there's something to detachable controllers. Maybe there's something to more powerful than the PlayStation Neo. Maybe there's something to digital only. Maybe there's something to cartridges. Like, there could be something to all of that. There could be complete rumors that are totally true or just elements. I'm willing to bet, I would almost say almost 100% something has been true. There's no way that this shit doesn't get out and someone hasn't gotten it right. So, you know, it's not like rumors are the worst thing in the world, which I know you might not even gather from the way I've treated this video. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I think it's just unhealthy to be so adamant about finding the next thing and wondering what's going on. And I think that there's also something to be said for just letting a company sort it out and do it at its own time. Yes, I think they should be doing it faster than they've been doing, but so what? I'm not a businessman. I'm a gamer who plays in a heavy metal band and has a career in finance. Like, that's what I do. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend to understand how to operate a video game company. They need time to figure it out. It sucks. I think that it would have been better if they didn't have to take this huge gap in time, but they probably know what they're doing. I've learned to trust Nintendo, and I think that whatever the NX is probably going to be great. I hope it's not exactly what Eurogamer just showed. That does make me nervous. But whatever it is, even if it is that, I'm going to still give them a chance to show me why it's going to be awesome, and I believe that they will succeed in that. I don't need to find every freaking rumor and just dissect it and wonder about it and get on NeoGAF and be like, wow, what's the next big thing, huh? Oh my gosh, wow, it takes you to space. That's incredible. Like, by the way, it actually would be incredible if I could do that, but I don't need to do that stuff, man. So that's just me. Maybe you disagree with all of the shit that I spewed in this video, and that's okay. Like I said, this is just my opinion. And I just wanted to get it out there. I wanted to respond to Terminator Juice's really good question. Again, you know, kind of a selfless plug for the podcast that we do, The Juice is Loose. Again, if you're curious, please check out the link below and you can subscribe to that. But I want to hear what you guys think about this NX stuff and the rumors, and who, if anybody, is it fair to blame? I honestly put it more on the gamers and the people who are just more intent in seeking this stuff out and not content just paying attention to what's available and maybe giving one of the three companies the time that they happen to need. Yes, they've dug their own holes, so they have gotten themselves to the position where they need this gap in time of no games and no announcements on the NX. But so what, man? Like, let's just give it to them. Like, this is a pretty unprecedented thing. They've never had to do this before. Kind of with the Wii, but not so much. This is fairly unprecedented. So, like, Jesus Christ, let's just calm down. We're all excited for the NX. I think it's going to be cool. It's a big-ass mystery. I mean, Jesus, only Nintendo could do this. If Microsoft or Sony took a 9-month gap, people would be like, that's weird. I wonder when their next thing is. Oh, well, on to my life. But with Nintendo, it consumes people's life. It's crazy. And even though I think people take it too far, I will say it's pretty cool that Nintendo can do this and that they garner this kind of attention. It's a magnetic pull that only Nintendo has. And even if it yields bad results like stupid gamers being stupid, it's pretty cool that they can do that. So anyway, I'm going to shut up. This is what's going on. TJ, thanks so much, my man, for the really good question. Hopefully people check out the podcast. We've been growing followers and stuff anyway. I should say Terminator Juice has been growing followers. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this stuff below. Where do you think the blame lies? Is it Nintendo or gamers or somewhere else? Or is it maybe nobody? Thanks, of course, as always, for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule 2 Review, and I will catch you guys next time on another video.